The 25th anniversary of the U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam closes down 2024 with the Flying High Florida State Seminoles and the reloaded Gonzaga Bulldogs trying to hit on all cylinders. A championship on the line for Florida State at the Eldridge Blake Sports and Fitness Center on campus of the University of the Virgin Islands. Alongside the coach, Kevin Lehman, I am Brad Wells. Coach, they say the dance begins in paradise. Would you get serious? This is the championship game here.
Hey, you got to get with the vibe. Where are your glasses at?
Hey, everything's on the line here. This NCAA tournament, both teams in it last year. This is a resume builder right here. Let's lock in.
No question for both teams. You've got a Gonzaga team that's come up 32 wins. 32 wins, the school record, Sweet 16 appearance, and a Florida State team. They walked in here averaging 100 points a game, one of the leading scoring teams in the nation. And they've racked up a ton of NCAA appearances in a row. But you're right. Yeah. Chance to build a solid resume before you go back and finish up your non-conference and get in the league schedule.
I know you've worn those sunglasses because sometimes the stars have been shining so bright on the court. We got a couple good ones to spotlight here as we take a look at our key players to watch in this game. Let's begin with Tanaya Latson for Florida State.
Oh, Tanaya Latson, I love her game. You got a team that's leading the nation scoring, and you got the leading scorer in the nation in Tanaya Latson. She's only 5'8". Double-double against Tech. 30 points, 11 rebounds. She's averaging 9 rebounds a game in this tournament, and that makes her coach, Brooke Wyckoff, really happy. A complete player in Tanaya Latson, and she can score at all 3 levels and in traffic. Strong, powerful player.
All right, for the Gonzaga Bulldogs, Yvonne Ejim. Man, she is so solid, and Kevin does so much for Gonzaga.
Well, right there, Becky Hammond, Player of the Year. That is for the best mid-major player in the country. She won it last year and is a front runner to win it again this year. 30 double-doubles. 18-5 coming in this tournament. She's played for the Canadian Olympic team, has international experience. This is one of the best offensive rebounders and complete player in the country.
Averages a double-double on the season. Let's take a look at our keys of the game. Coach, what do you need to see from the Seminoles for them to stay perfect down here in St. Thomas?
They've taken their defense. They put more pressure on the ball. You've got to own your own matchup. You can't get beat off the bounce and get into rotations on the backside. Their bench has been spectacular in this tournament. Brooke Wyckoff has brought out three-point shooters. She's brought point guards. She's brought everything off the bench. They have scored 41 points in that last win over Missouri State. And when you look at the other side for Gonzaga, lots of pressure. I always say, make it simple. Take on the fundamentals of passing and catching the basketball. Don't spit it out to the opponent. They've struggled to shoot threes in this tournament, but this is a Gonzaga team, Brad, that came in here shooting it really well. They got to get hot today, and their threes got to go.
It's going to be a fun matchup. Florida State got hot from 3 yesterday. They were 1 3-pointer off the program record of 15. They dropped 14 in the win over Missouri State. Tanaya Latson passing the 1,500 career point mark in this tournament, the 10th Seminole to go over 1,500 points, and has scored so much here. She ranks 6th now in Florida State history. And the first shot from Latson, as you see the starting 5 with Latson, Turnage, Gordon, Villegas, and Timpson. Timpson also earning preseason honors with Latson, both named to the top 50 watch list by World Exposure as top 50 ranked players. And for Gonzaga, Little, Hybens, Dalton, Turner, and Ejim. And Yvonne Ejim, the first 2 of the game.
High-low dump down. That's what Gonzaga loves to run their offense. Those post players can pass it.
Latson passing out to Turnage. And now Omaria Gordon out to Turnage. Turnage drops in the 3. Turnage was scoreless on Friday and on Thursday. Her first points of the Paradise Jam in the opening minute. Ejim into the lane. Dumps it off. Hybens, the kick out. Little collects. And the rebound will go out of bounds.
Esther Little just getting healthy for the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Florida State head coach Brooke Wyckoff, her third season at Florida State. A player for the Seminoles, 97 to 2001. And took over for her coach, Sue Semrau, a few years back.
In the NCAA tournament, they've got a long string of appearances, and Brooke Wyckoff has continued with that NCAA success.
Now, how about that? One of 8 programs in the country to make the NCAA tournament in 11 straight seasons. There you see Gonzaga head coach Lisa Fortier in her 11th season leading the Zags. Last year's mid-major national coach of the year. 10 20-win seasons in her first 10 seasons.
She's got some new pieces on this Zag team, including number 11 there, a freshman phenom. This Gonzaga team.
Coming off not just an NCAA tournament, but a Sweet 16 with wins over UC Irvine and Utah, hosting the NCAA tournament as they earned a top 4 seed. And Mott Hybens, the graduate senior from the Netherlands, puts it in for Gonzaga.
You have to get physical with Gonzaga's posts. It's old school, high-low dump downs, 3 out, 2 in.
The stars of this tournament for Gonzaga have been Yvonne Ejim and Allie Turner, the freshman guard out of St. Louis, Missouri. Number 11 has been just such a tough point guard and has found some open shots from 3, 14 points in the game against Texas Tech and 13 against Missouri State. Made 3 threes in that game.
Always under control, difficult to speed up Allie Turner. Another great pass from the post.
Extra feed down to O'Connor in the corner, and the rebound tipped to Latson.
Excellent transition defense. You have to get Latson stopped. There's going to be single coverage in there.
Timpson goes right at Ejim. And for Timpson, her first attempt is true. 7-4 early lead for Florida State.
We always talk about the guards for Florida State. Timpson came in there averaging 20 points a game for the Seminoles.
Ejim shows the mid-range game. Smooth jumper.
Puts so much pressure on your defense because she can catch it at 17, shoot it over you, beat you off the bounce, or make the dump down pass to her teammate.
The 3 from Villegas turns into a run out for Ejim. And a foul is going to go on O'Connor, going over the back of Valenzuela.
Gonzaga used Ejim in the game yesterday against Texas Tech to break the pressure. That's what a skill set she has. Point guard, passing 5-man, great rebounder, can guard all positions.
Here's Gordon, the runner. Oh, soft touch and some soft rims here on the island.
Oh, the best. They grease them with coconut butter between games to make them soft.
Ejim, oh, great footwork inside. Coming across the lane, Yvonne Ejim out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
If you allow Gonzaga to reverse the ball and play second and third side, they will shred you inside.
Substitutions, Inesh Betancourt and McKinley Dallin coming into the game for the Zags. Little and Hybens check out.
Gonzaga had a heartbreaking loss to Missouri State in the first day of this tournament on Friday. when they came out yesterday, just quite hadn't recovered from that loss, and Texas Tech put them back on their heels. It's great to see Gonzaga off to a very strong start in this game.
Gordon makes it a 2-point lead, getting 1 of 2. Betancourt for Gonzaga sets up the offense to transfer from UConn. And Ejim now in trouble and throws it away. Gordon with the steal. Turner goes straight up. Gordon missed the layup. Latson sets up Valenzuela, who missed everything. And Gonzaga dodges a bullet.
They brought Valenzuela off the bench 20 minutes yesterday. 4 triples, had 14 points in 20 minutes. That was the bench bunch we talked about, the bench mob of the Seminoles.
Betancourt trying to feed it inside to Ejim. Latson steals it away. And Latson straight to the rim. Has a good touch around the rim.
Well, first of all, Gonzaga's got to get back and show their numbers, get big. Stop that dribble penetration in transition.
And miscommunication there. Ejim looking for O'Connor in the corner. O'Connor ducking in. Florida State a 4-point lead over 5 minutes into this championship opportunity for Florida State in the 2024 Paradise Jam. A 4-point lead for the Noles over the Zags. Final day of the 2024 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. As Gonzaga on the back end of a very long road trip. They will have another road game December 8th before returning home on the 14th. But the trip for Gonzaga, they left home a week ago today. Had a game on Sunday at New Mexico. After that game, Sunday night, they flew to Atlanta and spent Monday and Tuesday in Atlanta, flying to St. Thomas on Tuesday. As Timpson puts 2 in. That's a long time to be away from home.
Not when you're playing basketball, Brad. Come on, you're with your teammates. Great time to bond.
Well, Coach Fortier said we're going to find out a lot about our team and a lot about our personnel. Timpson with the lay-in. Coach Wyckoff knows about that personnel. Timpson and Latson, she knows they will be consistent and reliable and good.
More pressure up top. Stopping those reversals.
There's Dahlin on the shot.
The Florida State, they played the way they're defending.
And Latson trying to throw it out, save it from going out of bounds. It does go out of bounds. Timpson, her 35th career double-double against Missouri State. 18 points, 12 rebounds.
Spectacular as the anchor of this defense. And what they've changed that timeout, there's more pressure up in the middle of the court. Gonzaga now having more difficulty reversing the ball.
There's Betancourt, tried to dump it across the lane. Timpson, the steal, leads the fast break. Timpson with the left hand, the lay-in.
That's twice. She's been going full stride and came back with her left hand. Made it look easy. And Gonzaga's got to be ready. They got to be able to reverse the basketball. If they play one side, this will not go well for them.
O'Connor comes flying in to grab the rebound. Betancourt for 3. In and out, no. And a foul on Florida State underneath. As it goes on Valenzuela.
You get Ejim back in the game.
Yvonne Ejim and Allie Turner come back in for Gonzaga. Gordon back onto the floor with Turnage for Florida State.
Ejim can beat the defender off the bounce from around that free throw area. They're in every passing lane, the Seminoles.
Turner on the wing. Back to Betancourt. Betancourt, the drive. Hybens, the shot fake. Jumper in the lane, good for two. Mont Hybens, graduate transfer. Started her career at Syracuse from the Netherlands in year number 4 with Gonzaga. And a three from the outside by Sydney Bowles, who dropped 4 triples yesterday in the win over Florida State.
I was scrambling, looking through my roster to figure out who Sydney Bowles was when she came in and started bombing those triples yesterday for the Seminoles. That is that I kept talking about the bench bunch for Florida. They are deep and they are talented.
Bowles averages 10 points per game now after that excellent 16-point performance yesterday. Ejim calling for it inside, working against Avery Treadwell.
Yeah, that's where she's good. Left that one short. Uh-oh. Cannot foul on that missed shot. You're always tempted. When you pull the string on one, you shoot it short, hits the front of the rim. It's so tempting to try to chase down your miss. And you pick up that cheap foul that you have to avoid.
First personal on Yvonne Ejim. Amaya Bonner from the corner. How about that put back from Turnage?
Zone defense didn't block out Turnage coming out of the clouds.
Knocked out of bounds by Bonner.
Good start for Gonzaga. Florida State changed their pressure points. They've struggled.
Ejim just lost it. The takeaway for Bowles. Now Bowles launches the three. That is what Sydney Bowles can do.
Oh, sweet.
Ejim now drives right side, dump off, and a foul on Florida State as Hybens tried to collect. Malaya Williams, they call him 22. I think they're talking Treadwell. Treadwell gets called for the foul, her first. Williams in a boot on the bench. Not available for Florida State, but able to make the trip with the Seminoles. Here's Gordon. Oh, the speed. How about the English off the glass?
Those two in the backcourt, Gordon and Latson. They don't always play them together. It's a scary thought if they do. So much quickness with the ball in their hands.
Betancourt is going to have to hit from the outside, and she does. Betancourt makes 36% of her three-point attempts and gets one to go here on the final day.
Gonna need her shooting.
Betancourt's first made three of the Paradise Jam. Ejim at half court throws it into the beach zone. Florida State, an excellent start here in the first, 28-12, a 16-point lead after the first 10 minutes. Gordon going right at the Zags, 7 points, and Bowles knocking it in from outside. A dominant first half, or first quarter for Florida State, 28 points, allowed just 12 for Gonzaga. And there you see the offensive numbers led by Timpson's 8.
It was like they started out in first gear, then shifted to second, and by the end of the quarter, they were in overdrive. This is a great matchup to watch there. Timpson, Ejim.
And the block by Turnage.
Timpson not only blocks shots inside, but alters shots. And that young woman is impossible to stop when she gets going downhill.
Latson just 2 points in the first quarter.
Gordon's got a hot start with 7, and they sit her down and bring Latson in. Both players exceptional in the open court.
Coach there led by Tanaya Latson's NCAA best 26.4 points. But they have 6 players that average 8 or more.
Latson, 27 points. She's averaging 25 minutes a game. She's scoring over a point per minute.
Allie Turner fires the 3. Gonzaga 7 turnovers in that first quarter too. They shot it okay, 6 of 14 for 42%, but missed all 4 of their 3-point attempts in the first quarter. Here's Turnage underneath.
Turnage has played well.
Latson fires the 3. And fighting for the offensive rebound is Bonner. Last touch by Bonner. It'll be Gonzaga basketball. O'Connor checks into the game. Little checks out. And Turnage checks out as Valenzuela back onto the floor for the Noles.
Well, this Noles team roll along really well. Went into Illinois, into Champaign. Good learning experience is what Brooke Wyckoff told us in that loss. But Notre Dame picked to win the ACC. Boy, watch out for this Florida State team.
Preseason number 5. It will be a deep and competitive ACC.
If they're number 5, those 1, 2, 3, and 4, that's a scary thought. What's amazing about this team is the depth. And they can play different styles, Brad. They can stay fast. They can bring in 3-point shooters. They can bring in front line players. Really versatile group. And they can all guard.
There's Betancourt, step back 3. Good from the right wing.
You're right, Betancourt has to play well for Gonzaga. Spread out that defense and give Ejim some room to work inside.
Oh,
watch
nice
out.
kick back, Valenzuela. Oh, Latson the feed.
Clicked her heels, knocked that one down. Airballed the first one, Venezuela. That look was just too clean.
Here's Betancourt underneath, the kick out. Turner gets a good look from 3. Turner's dialed in.
Getting some better ball movement from Gonzaga. They got stuck in the middle there for a little bit. Now they're getting the ball up in transition.
Ejim with the block on Latson. Betancourt ahead to Turner. O'Connor kicks it out. Turner wide open for 3. Back-to-back triples for the freshman Allie Turner. And a timeout taken by Florida State. 34-21 will step aside. Second quarter resumes when we come back to St. Thomas Island for the final game of the 2024 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. (34-21) is our score. Florida State a solid first quarter. Gonzaga a 9-6 lead in this second quarter.
The ball's starting to pop for Gonzaga. They have got 9 baskets, 8 have been assisted. Stagnant early in the game, and they got it moving side to side.
Allie Turner with a pair of 3s for Gonzaga. Here's Hybens off the window. Latson the rebound.
Hybens got handcuffed, trying to get it down low.
Villegas from the corner. So throw ahead to O'Connor. Gonzaga 6-0 run on those Turner 3-pointers. And Gordon Called for the grab.
Well, Gonzaga's better off to put Ejim in the high post because if she goes down low and they try to get that high-low dump down, Timpson is so physical, she is shoving Ejim right off of her sweet spot on the low block. I think the farther that Ejim moves from the hoop, the more advantage she has against Timpson.
Turner inbounds to Ejim. Ejim sneaks it in past Timpson.
Forget what I just said. Go down low, feed her, give it to 15 on the block. That was nice with the left hand.
An 8-0 run for Gonzaga. Florida State comes up empty again.
You got to keep going in transition. Get the ball side to side. Feel that pressure up top. Trying to stop ball reversals.
Cristobal Osorobo into the game. Dahlin back onto the floor and sliding the pivot feet before putting it on the deck is Osorobo, the freshman from Spain.
That's an excited young freshman here in the Paradise Jam.
Played together with Gonzaga teammate Esther Little for Ipswich Basketball Academy.
It's going to be really good. Just big moment. She's a little bit anxious.
Catch and shoot three, and Bowles is 2 for 2.
Bowles having a great tournament.
4 for 7 yesterday, 16 points. And Gordon just so good on the defensive end of the floor. Think about Gordon and Latson, how good they are offensively. Coach, they're just as tough on the other side.
Well, you're not going to play in this system for Florida State unless you defend. You know, Brooke Wyckoff told us they used to play a little more conservative on defense, but they want to play so fast on offense. It just, the pieces weren't fitting, so they really ratcheted up the defense. And now they feed one another. That's why you're seeing that 97 points a game.
How about the Texas A&M transfer, Sydney Bowles? She loves the island life and shooting here in this University of Virgin Islands gymnasium.
Well, what's amazing, she was shooting 28% coming in this tournament, and it's a pretty good sample size. Her shot looks so pure. I'm amazed that the percentage was that low.
And the foul by Ejim will send Michaela Timpson to the free throw line, the senior from Edison, Georgia. We'll go to the line. First team All-ACC in 2024, second team All-ACC, and on the All-Defensive team and most improved 2 years ago, after earning ACC All-Freshman team honors in 2022.
Well, Brad, you were talking, we were both talking about Gonzaga with that run. Was it 8-0?
Yes.
Look up, now it's back to 18. You talk about runs, they can put it on you so fast, the Noles.
Offensive rebound now by Bowles. And Latson will go to the free throw line as Hybens gets called for the foul.
I have no idea how Latson was able to get right down the middle of the defense. This outstanding basketball move. Here comes the bench bunch.
Gordon checks out. Bonner comes in. Also Avery Treadwell onto the court.
They are deep.
And have both Gordon and Timpson on the bench. Latson at the free throw line makes it a 20-point lead here in the second quarter.
Oh, we thought Gonzaga was taking a challenge. All of a sudden, boom, it's back to 20 before you can blink.
A 9-0 run for the Seminoles, and now looking for more as the pass hits the rim.
I saw that one coming.
Bowles launches. Treadwell kicks it out and gets it back. Lower block, Betancourt with a takeaway. Betancourt over to Little.
Oh, Little's got to try and finish. Coming off an injury. Not 100%.
Did not play against Cal. Has played every game here in the Virgin Islands. O'Connor from the corner.
Gonzaga's trying to use somewhat of a smaller lineup.
Latson with the shot. Here's Betancourt the rebound. Gonzaga with numbers if they want to push it.
Oh, come on, freshman, you got to take a shot.
Inside missing is Dahlin. She'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. As Osorobo had it on that outside. 3 of 8 from three-point land on the season.
Bowles going to take a seat. When Bowles got that last turn, when you see a shooter start to go left, right in transition dribble, they're getting ready to pull the trigger. Trying to get a little rhythm going. Bowles on that last one, she misfired, but I could see as soon as she crossed half court, that ball was going to go up.
Gonzaga's first free throw attempt of the game. Ball short for Dahlin.
It's amazing that Florida State can play with that much pressure and not foul. And they're very physical in the front line. Recipe for success. Defend without putting your hands on people.
Latson kicks it out to Bonner. Too strong from the corner. Turner throws it ahead. Betancourt the drive, the kick out. Three-pointer. Too strong for Turner, and here comes Latson. Surveying the defense. And has it knocked out of bounds by Turner, but last touch by Latson. It'll be Gonzaga basketball.
Latson pleaded her case. She knew she was wrong. She's finally smiled at the ref and said, yeah, you're right.
Latson goes to the bench. As Hayani Dos Santos into the game for Florida State, and Villegas back on the floor. Shot clock down to 7 for Gonzaga. And Turner, with the crowd counting down, did not get a shot off in time. And that's what that Florida State defense can do. It can get you completely out of rhythm.
They'll turn the faucet off. Lisa Fortier tried to go for a couple minutes with a smaller lineup and spread out the Seminoles. Didn't work. Back in his Hybens and Ejim. They're power players inside.
Villegas back to Valenzuela. Fires the 3. Here's Turner on the rebound and the run out. Turner misses the layup. Offensive rebound for Gonzaga. And now into a half-court set. Minute 45 left here in the second quarter. Betancourt dumps it off. Ejim back to O'Connor. Hybens had the rebound knocked away by Dos Santos.
With Timpson out, I would try to get the ball to Ejim inside. They've kind of forgot about her. They've moved around the perimeter.
Coach Wyckoff may be thinking the same thing. Turnage out, Avery Treadwell in, not Timpson, but Treadwell comes in. And a basket on the inbounds play for Ejim.
Egypt knew that. They called her number on that play.
Wild reverse layup for Dos Santos, and Ibens battling for position underneath. Here's the dump off. Egypt gets it right inside. There's that high-low action you were looking for.
They get an angle on you in the block and then use the other frontline player to make the pass. Sometimes Egypt that was a good play there, but she's too unselfish at times.
Dos Santos drive, no. And it's last touch by Florida State. No fouling at 43-28. It is Gonzaga basketball, down 15.
Had that run, got up to 20.
And Michaela Timpson back into the game.
Gonzaga fought back, and now they got a chance to get this thing into a manageable number.
41 seconds left. Wyckoff bringing Gordon and Timpson back into the game for the
She doesn't
strong
want
close.
Egypt to get in rhythm.
Egypt sets the screen for Turner on the three. Shot clock is off. Gordon backs it out.
Egypt directing traffic. Got her teammates in the zone. Coach on the floor.
5 on the clock. Gordon dribbling at the top of the key. Loses it, gets it off in time off the side of the rim. And it's a 15-point lead for Florida State, missing their last 6 field goals of the second quarter. A scoring drought over 4 minutes for the Seminoles, as Coach Wyckoff always gathers her Seminoles team on the court here right before they head to the locker room. Some immediate reflection.
Good teaching points right there. And this has been a game of runs. Most of the runs have been from the Seminoles. They can ring them up in a hurry. Those 2 explosive guards, and the bench, again, outstanding.
Joining us is Brooke Wyckoff, Florida State head coach. Coach, you have 9 points from Timpson, 7 from Latson and Gordon. Getting good distribution from everybody again on the offensive end.
And getting some good stops, which allows us to get out in transition.
Where have you been hiding Sydney Bowles?
Yeah, I know. She came out ready to go, obviously. So proud of her and her confidence shooting the 3.
She's going to try and take these rims back home. Coach, thanks a lot for joining us here today. Brooke Wyckoff, Florida State head coach, as her Seminoles are in front here at halftime. 43-28 is our score. We will take a look at first half highlights, stats, and a whole lot more, all coming up from our final day and our final game of the 2024 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. Florida State 43, Gonzaga 28. It's a 15-point lead for the Seminoles, as here are the U.S. Virgin Islands, the final day of the Paradise Jam. 12 points from Sydney Bowles leads the way for Florida State. Coach, she loves shooting on these rims. She really has found her stroke from outside down here.
She's in great rhythm, especially in that transition game. But those 2 guards for Florida State set the tempo. They are a team that makes runs on you. Somehow you got to be able to limit those big runs.
Forgot to put my hat on here. Let's
get
with the program here. Championship Saturday, and joining us now to reflect on 25 years of the U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam is Nels Hawkinson. He is always feeling the rhythm and naturally in rhythm. Nels, the 25th anniversary of the Paradise Jam, just reflect on when you go from year 1, when Texas Tech beat Missouri State and Jackie Stiles in the championship game, to how this has grown to a 2-week affair with a men's tournament and 2 women's divisions, and just how the Virgin Islands has completely embraced you and your team. We've got some technical difficulties here. Working to get Nels Hawkinson back. Are you there, Nels?
You there, Brad?
I hear you now, Nels.
All right.
Yes.
Hey, first of all, that's way too many questions in a row for me. You have to understand that this is their 24th game, but I will give you a little basketball is my favorite sport. I like when they dribble up and down the court. They say keep it so fresh on the microphone. I like no interruptions when the game is on. My favorite play is the alley-oop. I like the way they take it to the hoop, like the pick and roll, like the give and go. It's basketball, bow wow, let's go. We're talking basketball. We're talking basketball. We're talking Paradise Jam basketball from the U.S. Virgin Islands. 25 years, absolutely. And tonight I feel every single one of them. But I've got my product placement guy, Powerade, that got me through this whole week. I have no shame tonight, okay? Powerade has got me through and everything else. We've had a great time here. Almost 10,000 people attended the men's events. Close to probably 8,000. Not bad for an island, only 55,000 people here. 12 miles wide, 3 miles deep. And they say they have a country. I can't believe they have a country in something so small. But it's great to be back. They love their basketball here. Timmy Duncan, Aaliyah Boston have just put basketball on the map here in St. Thomas. And we're just so great to I'm great. I could not answer any of your questions. I just went another direction. Hope you enjoyed that.
Nels, I absolutely love it. And I've heard that commercial. Your rap song is just flying all over the Virgin Islands radio waves. You mentioned a few talented athletes in Aaliyah Boston. You started with Jackie Stiles. We've got the country's leading scorer in Tanaya Latson for Florida State on the court here in the finale. You got a great knack for bringing great teams down. What's your secret sauce?
A little bit of luck, you know. No flour, well, maybe a little sugar too. You have a little sugar in there on that kind of stuff. No, a little bit of luck. You know, I coached women's basketball back when they use a men's-sized ball, you know, and so a lot of my friends on the women's side of things, they really, you know, I've been on boards of directors of the WBCA, the women's basketball coaches board, presently on the KYAL, Cancer Fund Board, kind of the Jimmy B version for that. So those are more of my connections, and they just want to come down there. We've had Connecticut here 3 times, Tennessee here 3 times, South Carolina came down, and so we had so many great teams like we have here. It's just great to, you know, to show the local people and the national audience that, you know, women's basketball is really good. And of course, with all the great players now, that's, you know, it doesn't need as much, you know, push and shove as it used to. It does it on its own.
Well, Nels, we get fantastic compliments from the coaches, from the players, from the fans. You run this tournament top-notch. I know you've got a great staff that you can't do this without. They're working tirelessly. You're working tirelessly. For Kevin and I, we want to thank you as well, bringing us in, making us a part of the team, and you and your staff do a fantastic job. So thank you, sir.
Well, let me ask you the question. How many years is this now for you guys doing the Paradise Jam event?
It's number 4 for me. Kevin's got a few more years on me.
I'm at number 11, Nels, and still counting.
Yeah, we're all still counting. The tinker's still going. No, I appreciate the Department of Tourism. It's fantastic. You know, and all our sponsors, 49 sponsors are here for this particular year. We're just excited. We have almost the lineup for next year. We'll announce that another time. But again, people, you need to come to the Virgin Islands. They have Magens Bay, the #1 ranked beach in the entire world, man, you know. Okay, we call it Lyman. That's chilling. You need to do some Lyman down here. Enjoy yourself because you're going to experience something amazing.
Nels Hawkinson, thank you so much. Executive Director, Basketball Travelers, and running this Paradise Jam basketball tournament.
And always remember, no passport required.
That's right. We'll be back to the U.S. Virgin Islands after this. Florida State is in front of Gonzaga by 15 at halftime. Florida State in front by 15 as we get ready for the start of quarter number 3. A look at our first half statistics as the Seminoles hitting a lot.
Yeah, they're dominating everything down that left side. Field goals, 3-pointers. Gonzaga with too many turnovers. They got to try and clean that up. But look at the points off turnovers. Gonzaga, a goose egg on their side, and the Seminoles have run off 23 points. off the Gonzaga turnovers.
All right, the final game of the 25th edition of the U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. Second half gets started after this. Florida State playing for a Paradise Jam Reef Division Championship. 2-0 thus far. Looking to go to 3-0. Gonzaga has had a tough round. They are 0-2 down here. A 1-point loss to Missouri State. And then a loss to Texas Tech, 67-49. And the Noles go right to work.
Turnage with a 3-ball in that opening possession. And we saw that stat line at halftime. At the bottom, we had, this is the 48th half.
Oh, Latson the dump off. Timpson with the 2.
Penetration. Get the defense in rotations. Dropping it off.
Hyben's pass taken away by Gordon. Now Gordon. Oh, great feed out to the corner. Latson, no, but Gordon the offensive rebound.
Gordon come out of the beach zone to grab that rebound.
And a kick will keep it with Florida State. 20 up on the shot clock. And a timeout early here by Gonzaga. 48-28. The Noles by 20. The Zags head coach, Lisa Fortier, saw something she wants to talk about early. We'll step aside, come back, more third quarter when we return to the Paradise Jam. Third quarter marches on. Florida State and Gonzaga in the final game of the Paradise Jam. Latson adding 2 to her total. She has 9. Coach, there's a special tie between these two head coaches, Florida State's Brooke Wyckoff and Gonzaga's Lisa Fortier. Not only are they active in Moms in Coaching, but it's become a support group for their recent cancer battles as well.
And both of these coaches recently diagnosed. They've both gone through chemo. They've stayed and coached their team. So thoughts and prayers with them. And we just saw that commercial for the K Yao Cancer Foundation. Early detection is a key, Brad, and you need funds for research to find more cures to give people more birthdays.
The power of one. Get that one checkup. Help that one person out. And Coach, you've gone through a battle yourself. It really does take a support system to try and figure out how to navigate something like that.
I was here in 2022, had just gone through 3 rounds of chemo and called the 24 games in this tournament. So had a little nice talk with both Brooke and Lisa about their journey. Because once you're in that, we call it the C Club, the club you don't want to be in, but once you're a member, you have a common bond with others that have gone through that journey, and it's so important. I know the research, the funds raised for research helped save my life. Let's hope that we can give money to save more lives in the future. More research and more cures.
Gonzaga coach Lisa Fortier in October returned from cancer treatment. February was diagnosed, had surgery in April after the run to the Sweet 16. Hybens adds 2 points there. Says about a 6 to 12 months until you're 100%. So she says, I'm still pacing myself and doing what I can. And for Coach Wyckoff, it's been just important for her to stay active. And it was Halloween 2023, breast cancer, and just this last October, did an event at the local cancer center around the Florida State community.
Both these coaches are very active in awareness and raising funds for more research and more cures.
Some of the players, too, talk about coach. Talk about both of their coaches and just so impressed by how they're able to lead and continue to come to work and give 100% into them as players for these coaches.
Well, obviously an inspiration for these young women.
Esther Little for Gonzaga had a quote, "If you didn't see her lose her hair, you wouldn't know she was going through it." Fortier still brings the energy. And for Gonzaga, a basket there for Turner.
Turner brings some energy. Gonzaga, they got a lot of ground to make up. They got to start at the defensive end.
Turnage launches the three, in and out, no. Ivins dumps it off. Ejim underneath.
Excellent
5-point run here for the Zags.
post-to-post passing. That's what Gonzaga's bigs are known for.
It's a foul on Hybens, trying to keep it out of the hands of Timpson.
In the zone, Timpson coming right across to the third spacer and got bumped on the way.
Dallin and Betancourt into the game. Little and Hybens check out. There's Timpson. Jumper in the lane. Smooth shot.
Pretty.
Her leaping ability, too, makes it really difficult to block unless you're 6'7". Almost impossible.
I'm not an expert on the WNBA, but we've got some women in this tournament that definitely, I think, are going to be drafted when their eligibility expires.
Latson stripped by Betancourt, but out of bounds. Last touch by Ines Betancourt, 5'9" junior from Portugal. 7 different countries represented on this Gonzaga basketball team.
Well, the men's program started at Tommy Lloyd, who's now at Arizona going overseas, and then the assistants on the women's program started making those connections with Coach Lloyd, and it's paid huge dividends.
For Gonzaga, England, Turkey, the Netherlands, Portugal, New Zealand, Spain, Canada, and 4 different states as well. As Turner, the freshman, hitting some shots.
And one of her skills, Allie Turner, we understand, is she likes to imitate the accents of her teammates from the various different countries.
The freshman from St. Louis, multi-talented, according to her teammates. Timeout on the floor, 54-37. Stepping aside, the more third quarter action when we come back to St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Florida State maintaining their lead through this third quarter. Gonzaga showing some stretches of being able to come back into this, and then Florida State's been able to provide an answer. Here's Ejim on the drive, left-hand layup, rolls in.
The battle between Ejim and Timpson. Ejim with 14, Timpson with 13. They've canceled each other out on the glass. Only 1 rebound for Ejim and 2 rebounds for Timpson. That's a surprising stat. Zags in that zone.
Valenzuela fires the open 3. And a fight for the rebound. Timpson gets shoved into the Knowles bench as she's fouled by Dallin.
Well, there's times you're the windshield, times you're the bug. Usually Timpson is the windshield that time. She went crashing to the floor.
And they're going to stop play quick, grab the Towel assistance under the hoop and get some assist from the Knowles bench.
Oh, those are student volunteers in those orange shirts. It's been sensational. They're high school kids from local high schools, and this is a huge event for them to come in and be selected to be a volunteer.
That one's got the same sunglasses that you do, those Paradise Jam shades.
Yeah, they're hanging out in the right spots.
Got to know the right people. Timpson from the outside, and here comes Betancourt. Tries to dump it off to Ejim. Stays right here. Well, Florida State 7-1 coming into this one. Their only loss of the season at Illinois, 83-74. They've scored 100 points 3 times. They've scored 97 or more 5 times. Had a 93-point game too, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 games where you score 93 or more points, Coach.
The only team that were able to slow them down was Texas Tech. And we saw how good that defense is here in this tournament.
Hyben's putback, no. Ejim, second putback opportunity is good.
Got it down to 13. Make some stops now, Gonzaga. In that zone.
Bonner drives, tries to get the rebound. And it's going to be a Zags stop on the defensive end.
In comes the 2 zone killers. We got Gordon, Latson. They can find the gaps in zones, dribble penetration, get to the rim, or kick out for open shots when the zone collapses.
There's Hyben's. The kick out, O'Connor for 3. Yes, the sophomore from Bellevue, Washington, knocks it in.
Great pass by Hyben's. There's the zone penetration.
Latson pushes the lead back to 13.
They screened the corner of the zone, and she went right down Main Street.
There's Ejim looking to feed inside to Hyben's. And Hyben's getting held by Turnage. Turnage saying, Hyben's was holding me.
Well, that's what great offensive post players do. They hold off the defender. Hyben's and Ejim really work so well together. Now,
there's an offensive foul called on Ejim.
There's the payback.
Timpson used the extended arm. More volunteers out on the floor.
They are hard workers. And we've got the student assistants also run the stats to us during every timeout.
During the 2 weeks of the U.S. Virgin Island Paradise Jam, Coach, those student workers, they're working as hard as anyone, including you and me down here.
Unbelievable. And they're the nicest kids. They always have a smile on their face. So polite. But that's this entire island. Been around some people that are so happy and smiling and hospitable.
There's O'Connor. Will fade away. No. Timpson with the rebound. Timpson 4 rebounds, a team high 15 points for Florida State. He's going to do a little pick and roll with Latson. Pull up jumper. No. Gonzaga still kind of hanging around, Coach.
Yeah, they're making
that
some
12
stops.
to 15 point range. O'Connor started to hit. Offensive rebound. Putback goes for McKinley Dolan, the sophomore from Washington. Transfer from the University of Minnesota.
Good inside position by McKinley. They've been in the zone. They're screening the corner of the zones, which basically turns into a man-to-man. And then How about that? Let's bring our guard right in the middle of the zone and let her play one-on-one against the bigs.
Latson at 5'8", going right at 6'3" Mott Hybens.
Well, I've seen a lot of teams will run their point guards into that center of the zone because they're such great passers. And Latson can not only pass it, she has that strength to be able to score against bigger players.
Quick visit to the scorers table. I think they forgot to put the 2 points up on the board. So they do now. 60-46 on the scoreboard here. Latson at the free throw line. 15 points, 6 rebounds. Coach, when she had her 30 points and 11 rebounds in the win over Texas Tech, she was so proud of those 11 rebounds.
That's because she was challenged by her coach to get on the glass, Brooke Wyckoff, and so she, a coach pleaser, right there, 0-0.
Final minute of quarter number 3. The free throws push Florida State's lead back to 15.
I believe Latson's had double-doubles before, but it was points and an assist.
Yes.
This one was points and double-figure rebounds.
Earlier this season, 34 points, 10 assists against North Carolina Central. Her first career double-double. Her second came here on one of 3 U.S. Virgin Islands. Here is Gordon in transition. Gordon gets the foul on Betancourt, and Gordon will go to the free throw line.
I don't know how you would simulate Gordon and Latson in transition. They come at you so fast. You're backpedaling. When you make a stand, how do you get them to reverse their dribble? They were so skilled with the ball in their hands.
Gordon excellent at the free throw line. 62-46.
Santos back in for this defensive possession.
Gonzaga could hold for what could be the final shot of this third quarter. Dos Santos funneling Betancourt. Now 8 on the clock. Betancourt back to Ejim. Tries the 3. Turnage the rebound. And Latson's going to try a half-court shot. Did not get it off in time. Excellent effort, but 63-46 is our score. 10 minutes remains in the 2024 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam, the 25th Jamiversary. Has 10 minutes left. Florida State and Gonzaga have it when we come back. There's some Virgin Islands royalty. Pressure bus pipe. The U.S. Virgin Island reggae musician from St. Thomas. He wrote the Paradise Jam theme song. That is not the commercial that you heard Nels Hawkinson rapping at our halftime interview. That is the music track that you have heard here on the ESPN Plus broadcast of the U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam.
Well, Brad, I also hear it all night long. And it rings in my head as I'm trying to sleep.
When we do it 4 games a day and then do it 3 days in a row, we hear it a few times.
I actually hum it all the way till Christmas. Then it finally disappears when the jingle bells comes back in.
I feel like we should bring it in as like an honorary Christmas song, since right around Thanksgiving, fire up some Christmas music.
And can you have a cooler name than that?
No, not at all. Pressure,
Pressure
bus pipe.
Bus pipe. I love it.
9:10 to play in the ball game. Florida State up 20. 2-0 in the Paradise Jam tournament coming into this game. Gonzaga 0-2 as Florida State looking to go 3-0 and make it a dominant Reef Division Paradise Jam championship. They would actually claim the Paradise Jam title even with a loss, as Missouri State and Texas Tech played earlier today. Texas Tech is now 2-1, but has fallen to the Seminoles. That was on day one. 70-62 was the final on that one, so Florida State would win the tiebreaker. But, Coach, you talked about this being a resume builder. These two teams historically always in the NCAA tournament.
Well, Gonzaga hosted last year as the top 4 seeds get a host. It's a big event for Gonzaga. They got into the Sweet 16.
Allie Turner, 2 more, 13 points for her, and Turnage is grabbing her ankle, and she says she's all right. As Coach Wyckoff, the depth of Florida State. They will bring Valenzuela into the game. Turnage jogs to the bench.
The first quarter, 28 points by the Noles. It looked like they're going to hit that century mark. Gonzaga made some adjustments. Were able to slow them down in the second quarter. This has been a great matchup right here.
Timpson and Ejim. Ejim's going to get called for the foul. Looked like two bigs just battling.
Two of the best forwards in the country. Kayla Timpson with 15 and 4 rebounds, and Yvonne Ejim, 16 points, a couple rebounds, 3 assists.
And that is her 4th foul, so that's why she heads to the bench. Hybens back into the game for Gonzaga. Timpson, a 90% free throw shooter coming into tonight's game.
I've been really impressed with her. They don't run a lot of stuff for her. She gets a lot of buckets on her own, and just considered one of the best post defenders in the ACC. Ooh, caught on the chin. Timpson.
Turner for 3. Timpson grabs the rebound.
You're not going to take a basketball away from Timpson. Vice grip hands. That's wicked.
Fantastic crossover. And the little runner in the lane.
She's impossible to defend because her ability to refuse the screen. You want to jump over there, try to beat her to the screen, and she crosses over, doesn't use it, and then has an advantage in a wide open lane to the rim.
Turner loses it out of bounds as the defense from Bowles gets it back for the Noles.
Wow, look at that crossover. Got the defender, little feet all crossed up, and then boom, explosion to the rim.
There you see head coach Brooke Wyckoff.
She really likes this team. Depth, style of play. To beat them, you somehow have to slow them down. I'm not sure how Illinois was able to do that. Of course, that was the second game of the season before they were hitting on all cylinders. We're still not even until December, till tomorrow.
There is Latson. She's up to 20 points now.
The guards are so good. Gordon and Latson, they come off the bench with scores. Got the big inside. Timpson can defend anyone. And we saw Sydney Bowles, another weapon in the first half.
3 from the corner. How about Gordon?
Wow.
And timeout on the floor. 6:32 to play. Florida State 74, Gonzaga 48. as it's going to be a Seminoles celebration with a Reef tournament title at the 2024 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. Stick around for that after this. A 26-point lead for Florida State as we begin the fourth quarter. For Gonzaga, Hybens and Ejim, both with 4 personal fouls, both on the floor as we begin the fourth. As Coach Fortier is going to need them both for as long as she can have them if the Zags are going to come back against this Seminoles defense.
More depth on the front line for the Seminoles is the freshman gets her pocket picked by the senior.
Omaria Gordon, 5'4" senior from Sarasota, Florida. Now it's Dos Santos with the steal. Bowles wants another 3. She's got 4 already in this game.
Can't relax against this Florida State team.
She was 4 for 7 yesterday. 4 of 6 now. Ejim on the drive. Gets 2. 18 for
too
Ejim.
Quick for Valenzuela to turn. Drop step. Was gone. Now, Zags in the zone trying to protect those 2 bigs. You mentioned they had the 4 fouls each.
Bowles can hit from inside as well. 15 points for Bowles.
I was wondering if she had anything inside the 3-point line. There's a natural stroke, shooting stroke from Bowles.
5 minutes to play. Coach, the value of winning a championship, these 2 coaches talk about, hey, this is a replication of our conference tournament time. To be able to do it in November, maybe give you a little bit of momentum or a lot of momentum for the rest of your non-conference to go get into conference action. These 2 coaches able to see what they have in their personnel, able to go a little bit deeper in their benches.
Well, think about this, Brad. You get 120 minutes of basketball on this trip. That is a lot of basketball.
What a catch. And the finish by Timpson.
I'm not going to say flypaper hands. I'm going to say Spider-Man hands.
There you go. Now you're talking to all generations.
Yes. I came up with that sticky flypaper, and you looked at me like I had 3 heads.
Well, I know what it is. I'm just saying there's a lot of young listeners that are out there watching basketball, turning to their parents like, what is flypaper?
The best part of that was our graphics guy, Mark LeDuc, said, I know what you're talking about. My coach back in junior high used to say that, but I wasn't sure if I was the fly or the flypaper.
Little nostalgic moment. Here's Betancourt, the runner off the glass. Makes a grimace. Maybe wasn't intending to bank that in.
I don't know.
You got to sell it when you bank it in.
I'm not sure if Mark knows it yet, if he was the fly or the flypaper that exchange in junior high school, but it stuck with him.
Timpson has had a fantastic tournament. 19 points, 5 rebounds here in this third and final game for Florida State.
Hey, the biggest challenge that Nels Hawkinson will have is counting the votes for this all-tournament team. Who do you pick off this Florida State team?
You've got Latson and Timpson. It's been fantastic. I think Latson has just, remember that 30-point, 11 rebound game 1. Gordon with 20 points in the opener. In game number 2, Latson with 21 again led the team. Timpson 18 and 12. She has a double-double. Yeah, Bowles with 16 points as well, Coach.
That's a tough one.
Might be trying to get on that all-tourney team. Dos Santos rattles home a triple.
Texas Tech, Shavers went crazy. with Tech today in their win.
And Texas Tech claiming second place in this tournament. And
Egypt's been good for Gonzaga. Oh, low. Great job of burying the post, but didn't finish.
Missouri State will take third place. Really balanced attack offensively, and a travel called on Dos Santos.
I know you call a lot of Missouri Valley basketball. That league is loaded. We saw Northern Iowa here for 3 games. We know that they beat a top 10 ranked Iowa State. Drake picked to win that league, and Missouri State was just outstanding. That is a united group. The Lady Bears, and they played in the inaugural game 25 years ago against Tech.
And a travel is called on Vera Günaydin, 5'9" junior from Turkey. Getting some action here in the third and final game. Had a left knee injury in practice right before the Paradise Jam started. It was right here on this floor. Got popped in the side of the leg. You see the leg taped up. And the big bruise, finally able to go. There's a 3 from the corner for Bonner. Florida State coach with 11 made 3-pointers in this game.
That's one of the things people might have wondered, how well could they shoot the 3 other than those 2 guards?
Ejim the take.
And Sydney Bowles shows the range that she has at the inside game. If you're watching tape of this Florida State team, you're a coach preparing for, you might just shut it off. Because I don't know how you would put a game plan against all the talent and the different styles that they play.
The balance, the ability to switch defensively. Always challenging the passing lanes.
Here's what makes great teams, Brad. They can play different styles and win. You can play a slow down and win. You can play an up-tempo game, which they want to do, but they have the ability to get in a, what we call, old mud wrestling fight and still win it with the ability to shoot 3s and the power inside.
Coach Fortier bringing Ella Hopkins into the game. Osarobo back on the floor. And Günaydin.
Osarobo needs playing time. Really talented.
Back to Günaydin, looking for her second 3 of the season. Offensive rebound underneath for Dahlin. And the reverse layup does not fall for Günaydin. Bowles, another 3.
That is so smooth.
5 3-pointers now for Bowles.
High release, wrist action.
Just 1 off of her career high. Had 6 against Mississippi State back in March 2023. And Latson with the rebound and the bench erupting. Coach, we have not just a double-double, but a triple-double for Tanaya Latson. 20 points, 10 assists, and now 10 rebounds. The junior out of Miami, Florida, making a case, coach, for captain of that all-tournament team.
Leading the country in scoring. A complete player with those rebounds. Oh, now we throw some steals in there.
22, a little prime time action on the lay-in. And that'll do it. Leave no doubt. 93-54, Florida State, your 2024 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam champions in the Reef division. A triple-double for Tanaya Latson. And for Florida State, their 4th ever triple-double in program history. And Tania Latson is the tournament MVP. Also on the all-tournament team, Michaela Timpson for Texas Tech, Jasmine Shavers, Paige Rocca for Missouri State, and Yvonne Ejim of Gonzaga, your all-tournament team. As here's a look at the Island Division all-tournament team: Wowby Evans, Sumbane, Deanna Gaston, 2 double-doubles in the tournament, 28 and 10.
And Kabalabi was knocking in all those threes, 34 points, had 24 in the first half.
Had 10 made threes herself. Here's the Island Division. MVP, Samaya Nichols, 20 against Pitt, 25 against UNI with 4 threes, and 28 against Auburn. The game-winning free throws as well. It has been impressive. There's Nels Hawkins and presenting the team trophy for the Paradise Jam to the Florida State Seminoles. A monster victory. 93-54, defeating Gonzaga to finish 3-0 at the 25th Jamiversary.
That is a special trophy marking 25 years of Nels Hawkinson's dream and journey.
And a photo op here for the Seminoles with the hardware.
Hardware and the hats. They're now announcing the all-tournament team for this division. Florida State, Texas Tech went over them in the first game, came back with a game against Missouri State.
Timpson finding out she's on the all-tournament team. Tania Latson, the junior, delivers big in the final day. Florida State's 4th ever triple-double, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. And the Seminoles, coach, they improved to 8-1, and they look good early on.
Yeah, this looks like a team that's going to break into the national rankings when they come out of this tournament. We talked about this tournament as a resume builder for your program. 3 quality wins for Florida State as they head back to the States tomorrow.
And we are joined now with Tania Latson of Florida State, MVP of the Paradise Jam. Tania, you were excited about your 11 rebounds and getting your 2nd career double-double. Did you think a triple-double was a possibility?
I mean, I said it to Coach after the last game. She texted me today. She was like, she wanted me to go get a triple-double. So I was like, you know what, I'll see what I can do. And I went out there and I just played for my teammates.
Well, she was excited about your double-double with 10 rebounds. What's going to excite her more now, the assists or the rebounds?
Probably all of it. I mean, I didn't even know I was going to be able to get a triple-double. I'm just proud of myself. I'm proud of my teammates for having my back, too. I wouldn't have done it without them.
Tania, what did you learn about this Florida State basketball team in these 3 games down here?
We're ruthless. We're relentless, too, and we put in the work, and I think everybody's going to see that.
Tania, congratulations. Go celebrate with your team. Tournament MVP and Paradise Jam champion, Tania Latson.
Thank you so much.
A triple-double, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Coach, it has been a fun couple of weeks and a great 3 days of basketball here. We have had half-court buzzer beaters. We have had game winners, and we have had fans go crazy.
Well, Brad, thank you, and thanks to our crew. It's been a great 2 weeks down there for the men's and women's tournament, and to be part of the 25th anniversary is a memory I will cherish forever.
All right, get out, visit the U.S. Virgin Islands. St. Thomas, St. John, St. Croix, all of them absolutely beautiful. And the basketball is pretty good once we hit November as well. The 25th U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam is in the books. Florida State and Kansas, winners of the 2 divisions. Thank you so much for joining us all week long. For the coach, Kevin Lehman, and our entire production crew, I'm Brad Wells. Thanks for joining us from St. Thomas Island. This has been a presentation of ESPN.